Okay, welcome everyone. Sunday feast lecture, Prashad, Kirtan. Today, we will have the pleasure of hearing a Mugajik, who is the long-time Pujari, Brahmachari in this temple. And without further ado, I will present to you a Mugajik dance.
Thank you so much for coming here, everybody. I was not going to drink anything. Yeah. No, it's not. I'm just starting to eat it. You already had kirtan for a long time. I think it's okay. It was taking so long. I just start now. So anybody here for the first time? You are not here. You were here last time. Yeah. Okay, so let's just start. We start in the Bhagavad-gita. It's chapter 10, text 24. So let's say our invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we'll read a couple of verses. So chapter 10, text 24. Prudasam chamukyam mam vidiparta brihaspati senaninam ham skandaha sarasam asmisagaraha. Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. And then we have purports, which are all written by our founder, Srila Prabhupada. He was translating the Bhagavad-gita very nicely and giving
Can I ask you to
explanation
again?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
We usually read through and then in the end we repeat the translation once more,
Then that's not
so everybody can follow. So the purport: Indra is the chief demigod of the heavenly planets and is known as the king of the heavens. The planet on which he reigns is called Indraloka. Brihaspati is Indra's priest, and since Indra is the chief of all kings, Brihaspati is the chief of all priests. And as Indra is the chief of all kings, similarly Skanda or Kartikeya, the son of Parvati and Lord Shiva, is the chief of all military commanders. And of all bodies of water, the ocean is the greatest. These representations of Krishna only gives hints of his greatness. And then the next text, 25. Maharshinam Brigur Aham Giram Asmekam Aksharam Yagyanam Japa Yagyosmi Stavaranam Himalayaham. Of the great sages I am Brigu. Of vibrations I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices I am the chanting of the holy names Japa. And of immovable things I am the Himalayas. The purport: Brahma, the first living creature within the universe, created several sons for the propagation of various kinds of species. Among these sons, Brigu is the most powerful sage. Of all the transcendental vibrations, the Om, or Omkar, represents Krishna. Of all sacrifices, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is the purest representation of Krishna. Sometimes animal sacrifices are recommended, but in the sacrifice of Hare Krishna, there is no question of violence. It is the simplest and the purest. Whatever is sublime in the worlds is a representation of Krishna. Therefore, the Himalayas, the greatest mountains in the world, also represent him. The mountain named Meru was mentioned in a previous verse, but Meru is sometimes movable, whereas the Himalayas are never movable. Thus the Himalayas are greater than Meru. So we'll read the 2 verses again. Of priests, I am Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Of the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. So don't worry, we will go through the text gradually, because of course this needs explanation. So, first of all, we have Krishna here speaking to Arjuna. This chapter is called the opulence of the Absolute. So Krishna's is like he's giving us an idea of his greatness by using worldly examples. Actually, it's explained that Krishna is so great. Okay, so first of all, who is Krishna? Krishna is God. That is one thing. Krishna is God is actually he is a person. He is a person who is speaking to his friend Arjuna. You see, he has his pastimes. So this is a pastime. When Krishna is instructing, he's instructing the essence of all knowledge actually in the Bhagavad-gita. The Vedic scriptures are very big. You have, actually there are millions of verses in the Vedic scriptures. Bhagavad-gita is only 700 verses. But actually Krishna is able to explain the whole essence of all the Vedic scriptures in just 700 verses. That's quite a feat. So so that's why you will do well to read the Bhagavad-gita instead of trying to read all the books. That would be a very good idea. Because actually, who else has proclaimed that they are God with some kind of good evidences? Actually, there is not so many. Some may claim that Jesus or Jesus actually says he doesn't say he's God. He says he's the Son of God, right? He says he's on the right side of his Father's. And his Father's throne, he's sitting by his Father's right side. So Jesus is saying he's not God. He has a Father, which is God. Actually, if you look through all kinds of religious scriptures, there is actually only one person who says that he's God and gives ample evidence. Now the Bhagavad-gita, there Krishna is now giving all the greatest things in the world. Like he's the best of all the priests. Brihaspati is known to be the priest of the demigods. He's the best of all fighters, which is Kartikeya, also known as Skanda, Murugan, he has many names. And then of all the reservoirs of water, you have the ocean is the biggest. So Krishna gives this worldly example so that we can get an idea, because we are now accustomed to this world. We have forgotten Krishna. Actually, Krishna has taken away our memory of him because we actually want to be apart from Krishna. So like that, though we have lost our memory of Krishna, now Krishna is giving us our memory back if we want to. If you read the Bhagavad-gita, we can get our memory back. So in that way, Krishna, he is God. And he's explaining himself to be God in the Bhagavad-gita. He says directly that he is the Supreme Lord of all the other gods. There are many gods. As mentioned here, Brihaspati and Kartikeya are two gods, and you also have Indra. But they are only servants of Krishna. Just like you hear in the Christianity also, you have angels. But they are only, of course, working under God, the Supreme God. So that is a concept to be understood. So also he says he is the best of the sages. There is one very great sage known as Brigu, which we also will speak about a little later. He is also the vibration of the transcendental Om. Now, I'm sure everybody here has heard about Om. It's very nice for meditation, this Om. You just say Om, and you get a very nice breathing experience. And you just slow down your breathing by saying Om, and you can become more and more peaceful. It's like a very simple way of meditation. And it said also that in the beginning of the very creation, the universe was created by a sound vibration, actually. And what was that sound vibration? Any guesses? In the beginning, there was only one sound emanating. Yes, very correct. So he said that is like the seed of a whole existence. It is sound. So maybe we can also agree, actually, to a certain extent. Actually, modern science also says something similar. They said it was a big bang. And we say there was a big Om. So it's still a sound. It's both a sound, yeah. So like this. The only thing about the scientists, they don't know that who made that sound. That they missed. We both agree there was a big sound in the beginning, but we have the information who made the sound. They don't. So you know, their information stops there. There was a sound, and that's it. They don't know who made the sound. But of course, somebody must have made the sound. So Krishna explains, I made that big sound which created the universe. Like that. Okay, so of all sacrifices I am the chanting of the holy names, japa. So japa, it means to recite the holy name. Not just one time. Japa means you continue to do that. That's why it's called also a mantra. Japa is supposed to be done with mantra. So what is a mantra? Actually, we are now under a spell, a mystical spell. Actually, we are now spellbound by the material illusion, and it is explained in the scriptures. Only a mantra can get you out of. It can free you. Only a mantra can free you from the spell that we are under. So that spell is called Maya. And the start of that is the false ego, which makes us think that we are this body, made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Actually, the body is not even that beautiful or good, actually. But since we don't have anything else, so then we just we learn to love the body, and you think, okay, actually I like my body, because we have to like something, and we like other people's bodies. But actually, it's just like you have dogs like other dogs' bodies, and you have insects like other insects' bodies. But when you look at two lizards, liking each other, you think, okay, it's not very advanced now, it's not very nice. And actually this is also explained, that's the way demigods, because they have much more beautiful bodies than us, they look on us like that. Like, lizards liking each other, or dogs liking each other. So, if you try and look outside our ego, we can actually understand the body is not so nice actually. Even maybe now, if you're young, it's very nice, but you will get old, the body will be more and more unnice. The niceness will be like more and more removed from the body will become more and more, ugly actually, and smell worse, it will not function so nice. I'm not more than 39, or somebody will think this is old, but I've experienced the last few years that my body is not working so well anymore. I cannot do the same things I could do 10 years ago. So I can now see very clearly where this is heading at. This is a dead end, as is a very nice saying. This body is a dead end. It's just going down. It's not worth betting on this body. Put your money to bet on this body, because we know the body will go down and it will be finished, and it becomes more and more useless for every day that goes. It becomes more and more. What do you call it? It becomes more and more actually a nuisance. So, but then we learn from very nicely. We learn from the scriptures like Bhagavad-gita that, hey, you know what? You're not the body. So that's good news. So who am I? Okay. First we speak about what we are not, and then we can speak about what we are, okay? But first we have to get out of the concept of what we are. If you think we are the body, then Krishna says we are wrong. So first of all, we have to try and accept that thing, that we're not the body. And later on we can take a look at what we really are. And we're also not a mind, that is a subtle body. When we are dreaming, actually the gross body, this body of flesh, is not so active. We are more active inside. In our subtle body, we can travel and see things. So how can you see things if you also don't have subtle eyes? Because you can see things in your mind, right? So how can you do that if you also don't have... The senses are actually subtle in nature. The eyes, the seeing power, is in the subtle body. The same with the feeling power. Even smelling, touching, tasting, all these are actually in the subtle body. These are just gross organs, so that we can see, taste, touch with gross matter made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. But these things are existing in subtle form, in the sense objects, or the form, taste, touch, smell, and so on, are existing actually in subtle form in the ether, which our subtle body can also enjoy. So in that way, if one is really smart, it is called like a philosopher or jnani. He understands that he's better off without the gross body. And then he's trying to get moksha, or liberation, from the gross body. And he very often he wants to come to the heavenly planets, where they don't have gross bodies like this. They don't have to go to the toilet. They don't have to work, to eat, to make a living, and these kinds of things. So these people we see mentioned here, Brihaspati, Kartikeya, Bhrigu, they are, you can say, intelligent people like that. They understood, and I don't want to have this kind of humanoid, gross body. They have like very fine bodies, which can enjoy much more. So that's another thing. But actually, even better than that, it is to have a spiritual body. And then we get into the thing about mantra, because mantra can actually break this illusion we are in. And Prabhupada explains that if you don't get a mantra, and you have to get the mantra from God Himself. So God Himself is giving us this mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra. Because I cannot just invent my own mantra. Why should I, by the way? If God is already giving a mantra, why should I make my own? It doesn't make sense, no. Because I didn't create this illusion. This illusion is not created by God. That I think I'm the body and that I have to be in this world and suffer so much. And I also enjoy it. That's all the grounded. But still, as I see, I get older and older, the body becomes more and more useless for enjoying. So like that, I didn't create any of these things. I just wish, and the Lord, He makes it happen. And the wishing